Greetings brethren, Habsburger Donkey here, and this is the last attempt at this video. It's my third attempt, and whatever happens in this video just happens. The first time I tried this, it was too long and YouTube wouldn't upload it. The second time there was horrible background noises. Whatever, this is it. So I finished a bunch more of my Oathmark Goblins. Not all of these. Some of these I had previously painted. You've already seen these command goblins, but I have decided to change the basing. Originally I did the snowy bases, and I did that mainly because I already have a Frostgrave collection of fantasy figures, and also terrain, and I kind of mostly wanted to reuse the terrain, but well, for a few reasons I've decided to go with a more sort of green, grassy basing. Mainly because I kind of want to base my entire Oathmark collection the same way, so that because of how the rules work. The rules in Oathmark are that you can basically combine anything into an army. Any troops can go together. So I kind of want them all to be based the same way, so that I can change up my army as I want it, and you know, maybe put some dwarves in or some elves in or whatever. So they all need to have the same basing. And that means that there were a few things that I was going to do that seem inappropriate for a snowy environment. So yeah, I just decided to go with this. And basically what I did is I put a bunch more of my muddy ground from AK Interactive on top of the already applied snow. Then I dry brushed it and just added some extra tufts. I left the original tufts intact that were on it before, and you can see there's still the little bits of snow that I put into the tuft. I'm happy with it. I think it can also totally pass as wildflowers, so I'm just leaving it as it is. And if you can see this, actually I'm gonna grab the king, I think it's more obvious on him. I also did a little trick that I stole from Black Magic Craft on YouTube a while ago. Basically he uses this sort of moss thing on stone walls and buildings and such, and it's basically green turf mixed with PVA glue, and I just applied it on the bases as sort of an extra layer of greenery, because I don't really like working with loose static grass. I find it incredibly messy and annoying. I prefer making tufts and then putting the tufts on the bases. So I tried this out, and I really like it. I think it looks great. I think it really does the job of giving you a nice sort of greenery ground texture that the tufts can then like protrude from. And yeah, I think it turned out really nice, and I'm really happy with it. Just to reiterate, this is what I used. This sort of these little foam bits. This particular it's from Mini Natur, I'm pretty sure, which is the German brand. But yeah, as you can see, it's just like it's just flock, right? So just little foam bits in green, and I just mixed that up with PVA glue, bit of water to get it nice and pliable. It looks horrible. It looks like an overly creamed spinach when it's wet, but then you put it on the base, and then there's actually a metal flake on this, and then once it's dry, it has a really nice dark green hardened texture. It'll have a bit of a shine to it, but if you put some, in my case, I just dry brush it a little bit with a lighter green color. I think it was yellow olive, or was it lime green? I think it was either yellow olive or lime green from Vallejo Model Color. And yeah, it gives a really nice effect. And I really like these bases. I'm super happy with them. Yeah. Anyway, you've seen the command figures. They were part of the Becca's Command Challenge. Then, or group build, I should say. Then these I had previously already painted. I just haven't shown them off on video yet. So 10 Goblin archers. As you can see, the red bows, I really do like the red weaponry. I think it's it just gives it a nice old school look, and I really enjoy it. I didn't paint the axe handle red. I'm not sure why, but oh well. He's the boss. He gets to have a different colored axe, I suppose. Yeah, so these were I painted these before the Becca's Command Challenge, and the same goes for these 10 spearmen. Again, with red spears and scuffed shields. The shields are all super simple, free-handed designs. I didn't do anything special on them. I just painted them black, put some red designs on them, and then gave them, if you can see that, gave them a light scuffing with some, I think, US field drab, because I like that as a sort of a scuffy wood color. And as you can see, I also magnetized them all individually, and they're on these magnetic sheets. The sheets are all, I've basically chosen to do them all 125 by 50 millimeters, because that way it's either 5 cavalry models or 10 infantry models. And well, if I want to do a unit of 15, I just have to take the 5 in the back off. But yeah, this way you can just push them together and you have a big unit, or you can have 2 small units, and it makes it much easier to move on the table. And it's not as, because what I don't like about these sort of, I'm not generally a fan of individually based miniatures. I prefer multi-basing, because, well, it's just easier to move, and I find single bases just annoying. But this game just works better with individual basing, I feel. And what I specifically hate about single-based miniatures is when you have movement trays that have a rim around the unit, because that makes the measurements just horrendously inaccurate. And while that's not necessarily a big deal, I don't think, you know, if it's not a necessary thing to do, to have like a bigger base. So for example, if I was doing anything pike and shot related, I would have probably a larger frontal area so that the pikes wouldn't interfere with other units. But I think that's a necessary change. I think having this rim around it is just not necessary. And so I went with this glued on, or with this magnetic sheet that I'm then going to glue to a unit base. The unit bases just haven't arrived yet. I ordered them from Sarissa Precision in England, and with the current situation, I think it's pretty reasonable that they haven't arrived in Germany yet. You know, usually takes a week or so to get here, and I'm sure this time I'll wait 2, maybe 3 weeks, but that's okay. I'll just keep them on the magnetic sheets till then. They'll be a bit wobbly, and then eventually they'll have their nice unit bases. Of course, you've already seen this drummer. I should take him out, because I did also paint a bannerman. He doesn't have a flag yet, though, because I've decided to paint my own flags. I didn't want to buy the North Star flag and shield combination, because from Little Big Man, because I don't know. I just wanted to make my own flags, and so I drew up these. And I'm actually quite happy with them. I think they came out really nice. These are going to be for the regular Goblin units. This is going to be for the Wolf Riders, the big Wolf Rider unit. And this one will be some kind of army standard. I haven't really decided. I don't really have a model yet for this, but eventually I'll have a model, and that will be the army standard. And this will probably be my soldier unit, and this the spearman unit. And if I need any more of these, then I'll just paint another one. Also, I basically scanned this off, which, yeah, I'm running into some problems with this whole flag business. I'm still ironing out the kinks. I do really enjoy painting them myself, so I'll definitely do more of that in the future, but this is what I came up with. I scanned this in, and then I kind of just mirrored these 2 big flags, so I didn't have to, you know, paint the same thing twice. It didn't matter on these, because, you know, they don't have anything on the back, because it's a one of those hanging standards, but the actual flags, I wanted to have the same thing on both sides, and so I just basically I cut this out in Photoshop and then just mirrored it over, and then just turned it into one consecutive flag. But as you can, I don't know if you can see that, but on my home printer is clearly too cheap because it's lost quite a bit of the color, and it's a bit grainy, so that's a bummer. And I went to the local copy shop and had them do it, and the colors are much nicer. The black is a lot blacker, and the red is very nice and bright as well. But for some reason, the gray, the highlighting that I did, is barely visible anymore. I mean, you can still somewhat see it, but I mean, if you compare it to the original, it's just such a huge difference. So I'm not really particularly happy with this copy shop one either. So I don't know. I'm still tinkering around with it. For these, I'm probably just going to use the copy shop ones and just add some extra highlights on these, and well, hope that the paper doesn't freak out over it. We'll see. We'll see how it works. But that's basically where I am with that at the moment, and I'll work on it more because I actually really enjoy painting my own flags. It's been a very fun quest so far, even though I'm not nearly happy with the final result. But yeah, we shall get there eventually, I'm sure. So that is my Oathmark Goblin so far. I still have a bunch more stuff to do. I have wolf riders, I have goblin soldiers, I have a bunch of characters, I have some giant spiders, I have some trolls, I have some monsters, and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, and yeah, so there's still lots to do. I'm also working on this currently, some Hessen-Darmstadt Napoleonics. I started painting a test set of 4. As you can see, I only just put on the base coats and then gave them a black wash. I'm kind of following von Ketteringham's painting style on this one, just to see how it works for me. And yeah, I'm doing these basically because that's where my family is from. It's from Hessen-Darmstadt, and so yeah. I wanted to do these for a long while. I bought this particular plate to do this, and so that's gonna be another soon one. But enough rambling. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll certainly be checking in with the next set of painted Oathmark figures, and maybe also the wonderful Napoleonics that I'm working on, or maybe also the this saga army in the back that I'm working on as a sort of a commission, but not really. So yeah, thanks for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye!